I have been tracking MicroStrategy for a while, and recently it did something I've never seen before. The highest volume in its entire history while outperforming Bitcoin by 3x. But this massive move is showing a dangerous pattern that most traders and investors are missing. After half a decade of trading stocks, I know that historic volume like this can signal both massive opportunity and extreme danger. Today's analysis is critical for anyone watching this stock. But before we dive in, I invite you to join my Profit Punch newsletter where I help traders spot these setups before they happen. I save my subscribers over 30 plus hours of research weekly by focusing on the top 1% of stocks showing proven patterns. If you'd like the service, link is in the description. Also, I spend countless hours analyzing charts to bring you this in-depth content. So if you want more analysis like this, smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Now let me show you what's happening in MicroStrategy stock and what to watch for. I'll also show you a trick that you can use to profit a lot from stocks like this that track something like Bitcoin. So the first thing is we can see the revenue, return on equity. It's not that great. So let's just remove that from our chart. It's very clear from what we can see that this stock is not being valued based on the current earnings. It is being valued on what it is likely to do in the future. Let's go to the weekly chart. And we can see earlier this year that MicroStrategy did a 540% move versus a Bitcoin move of 188%. So if you put $10,000 into MicroStrategy, you would have ended up with $60,000. Can you imagine? You could go get a house with that. But then on the correction, we can see that MicroStrategy corrected about 40%, while Bitcoin corrected only about 12%. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart. This stock really tracks Bitcoin. Bitcoin did 188%, MicroStrategy did 500%. On the correction, Bitcoin did 12%, MicroStrategy did 40%. So what does this tell you? This tells you that this stock, once Bitcoin is going up, it goes up a lot. But once Bitcoin is correcting, you have to be careful because also the correction is deeper. And to make money in the stock market, the most important thing is actually not making money. The most important thing is not losing money. So normally for such stocks, what you normally want to do is you want to look at the primary chart, which is Bitcoin. And then we can see once Bitcoin breaks out of a resistance here or breaks out to all-time highs, as I let my subscribers know, you can go to a MicroStrategy chart and then you can always just buy then. So when we compare the lows, we can see that from the lows, this one has gone up over 400%, while Bitcoin has only gone up about 83%. So that means this is acting like a leveraged ETF for Bitcoin. So normally what you can do to make very huge profits from this is you want to wait for a very clear move from the primary market, which is Bitcoin in this case. So here we had a move in last year in October, and today, also this year in November, we had a move. So those are the times when you want to be going into something like MicroStrategy because you're going to make way more money than someone who was in Bitcoin directly. But on the corrections, you also have to be careful. When Bitcoin corrects very slightly, MicroStrategy is going to correct very heavily. So that's something to watch out for as a trader and investor. So what are we seeing currently and what is the future for MicroStrategy? So right now we can see the biggest volume the company has ever had, right? The company is also going to all-time highs. All-time highs is something you should never take lightly. First of all, Bitcoin is going to all-time highs. MicroStrategy is also going to all-time highs. So what did it do last time it went to all-time highs? You can see it went up 570%, right? Just from the breakout. So that means that if it was to do something similar this time, it has not yet even reached where it could reach. It could easily double from here. But right now, despite the fact that it's been going out on very strong volume, which is a very positive sign, this is something that we like to see. The fact is that right now it's overextended from the breakout. This thing should have been bought here around 7th October, way before Bitcoin was breaking out. The best entry was actually on 19th September. We normally use the daily chart to know exactly when to get in. When it gapped up here, you could have gotten in. If you didn't trust it, you could have gotten in here on this quick reversal. Right now, this is not a time for both investors and traders to enter this stock. You have to wait for it because since Bitcoin and the stock are overextended, they're very far away from the 20-day exponential moving average. The correction is very, very likely to happen very soon. So once it corrects, we've seen it can even do a 40% correction, and you don't want to be caught in that correction. What you want to do right now is that since it's at all-time highs, a plan is to wait for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy to correct. You want to see a nice best that takes at least 4 weeks to happen, right? Since this is a stock that has run up too much and it has gone up over 100%, it's also likely to form something called the high tide flag. I'll be updating people in the newsletter when something like this happens. That is something that might take less than 4 weeks, but we can still profit from it. So if it forms a high tide flag and Bitcoin does something very similar, we can still get in. But ideally, you want to see a very nice base, and then we can break out from there. So last time on this all-time highs that it did here in December 2020, we can see it formed a flag here. And after it formed that flag, after a big breakout, it still went up 270%. So this is something that can easily happen. We want to see something just less than 25% correction. If it's less than 20%, that's even great. But once it goes up again, it can still move for a while. So do not underestimate this thing. But we want to see that nice correction form, and then we can get in. So it's not a buy right now. If you have it, keep holding it. You don't know how far it could go. But if you don't have a position, do not initiate. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also check out the newsletter. May the markets be with you.